Hey there, today I'm going to be showing you how to make custom retextured gardens just like this one here. Obviously this isn't the most intricate and fancy custom Chao Garden of all time, but there are custom textures here and that's what I'm going to be showing you how to do. I myself am not an expert texture editor, that's why I've mostly just kept something simple and rather basic here, but what I'm going to show you today will help you switch out any texture in the Chao Garden to be a different texture or whatever you want it to be. Before I get too far into this, big thank you to Erubbu. This video guide is basically just taking their PDF that they made and making it into a video with slightly more details and information. So thank you so much Erubbu for helping me learn how to do this and helping so many other people too. First, there's a few programs you need to download, and there's a good chance you actually already have some of them. First, you should need to have some kind of editing software that can edit PNG images, or images with transparency. I personally use paint.net, it's free to download, highly recommend it, very good program. Next, you need to make sure you have SATools. I have a download link in the description for this one. And lastly, you need to have the Sonic Adventure Mod Manager or the SA2 Mod Manager. Either of these programs works, but I do recommend the SA Mod Manager as it's actually the more updated, more recent version. I currently am on the SA2 Mod Manager, so that's what I'll personally be using, but the instructions are pretty much the exact same for both programs. Once you've got all those downloaded, then you're ready to go. First, you want to open up your Mod Manager and click the New Mod button in the bottom corner. Then from there, a little window will pop up where you can type in the name of your mod, some information like the description, the author, I'm just gonna put Dr. Eggman, because why not? Version number, a whole bunch of stuff. Honestly, none of this is really too important and you can change it later, so I wouldn't really overthink this too much at this point. But once you're done getting your information in there, just click OK. And basically what that did is it created your mod folder within the mods folder of your Sonic Adventure 2. I know, a little bit weird, but now under the mods area, you can see we got Custom Garden for Fun, which is really cool because that didn't exist before. If this folder doesn't immediately open for you, then you can find it in your Sonic Adventure 2 folder within your Steam files. I highly recommend creating a shortcut for this folder as you're going to be accessing it kind of a lot throughout this process, and even if you just play Sonic Adventure 2 modded, really recommend having this shortcutted on your desktop somewhere. So once you're in your mod folder, then you want to create another folder. You're going to name this one GD_PC. Just like I've got there, and inside that folder, you want to name another one PRS. With the new mod manager, there's a chance that it just automatically does this for you, but if you're on the old version, then you'll likely need to do this. The next step here is to go into the resources folder within your Sonic Adventure 2 game folder. This is why it's important to kind of shortcut it. You're going to be going into this quite a bit. But go into the resources folder, then open GD_PC, and from there, we're going to want to pull some files that are already within Sonic's game files, I guess, or Sonic Adventure 2's game files. On screen here, I have some of the most important ones listed, so if you want to make a specific garden type, definitely get those files there. But there's a whole bunch that aren't listed there too. So on Sonic Retro, I have it linked in the description, there's a whole list of all of the texture files in Sonic Adventure 2 and what they correlate to. So definitely check that out if you want to do more than just some basic editing, as these files are missing some textures. But basically what you want to do is find the files within the GDPC folder within the resources folder and copy them over to your mod folder that you made. And that is copy them, not cut them, not drag them over. Do not replace them in any way from the original folder, because those are actually your regular Sonic Adventure 2 files. If you end up changing those ones, you'll have a whole bunch of issues. I recommend using the search feature. It makes it a lot easier to find these as there are a lot of texture files in here. On Sonic Retro, you can also do the same thing by typing Control F and then searching for specific textures. One thing I should also mention is some of these files already have pack file versions within the GDPC folder. I think it's mostly just the garden text files, but basically those ones, if you see a .pack version with the exact same name, just download that one, so it'll actually save some time a little bit later. If you do end up getting the PRS version though, that's totally fine. It's just if you download pack, it saves a step a little bit later. So as you see here, I've got my 4 files downloaded for the neutral Chao Garden, or the regular normal garden. That's what I'm doing here, not the Hero or Dark, we're just doing the normal Chao Garden. I got my 4 files, 2 of them are already .pack, which is just the stage title, and then we got the PRS files too. So now that you got your files set up, you're going to want to open up SATools and click the texture editor on the right side of the program there. Now SATools can do a lot of other things, but this is all we're going to be using, it's just the texture editor. Next you want to click File, Open, and then you're going to want to go to the mod folder that you created that has the PRS and pack files, and you're going to want to click the PRS files, or you'll have to do them individually, but you're going to want to click one of them first, and you'll start to see, hey, we got the textures. Here they are. We got some leaves in the Chao Garden, or a lily pad or something, or I don't know what's going on. I don't know what some of these textures are, but we got them. So we're gonna click then Save As, and as a pack file with the same name, very important, keep it as the same name, but now it's a .pak file, which is important, we need that. Next, we're gonna open up the other PRS file, the one that we didn't just open up, so it's the second one. And basically we're just gonna do the exact same thing, just convert it to a pack file. So again, you can see here we got some cliffs, looks like the ocean, some grass, some more cliffs or rock. You know, so all the textures are here. And they all have different textures too. The Hero, Dark Garden, and Chao Garden, like the normal one. So take a look around at the textures first before you decide which one you want to edit. Maybe the Dark Garden's actually what you want to edit, not the normal garden. It's totally up to you, but basically save them as pack files. Now we can go back into our regular folder and delete the PRS files. You don't actually have to do this, but I like to do it just to make things a little bit easier and so I don't get confused. Once you've got those saved, you want to open up the .pak file for the texture that you want to edit. And once you're in the texture editor here, simply export the specific texture that you want to change. And then from there, you can open it up in your editing software and really get creative. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm editing the cloud texture, or the kind of skyline there. And I put in some Choa. So now, once we're done, we're going to export this picture. And it's very important, try and keep it the same resolution as the original texture. If you go too high resolution, then your game could crash and you could have a whole bunch of issues. So try and keep it the original resolution. Then from there we go back into the texture editor, click import, and now we click the new file that we just saved, that new PNG that we just edited, and you should see in your texture editor, we now have clouds with the Choa's face on them. And then from there you just want to simply save as pack file. Now it's very important that you keep your files saved in the right place. I've been telling you guys to save your files here. These are kind of the project files, as I like to call them. They're not actually be included in the final mod. So what you need to do is you need to take your files, once you're done and you have all your textures edited, and move them into the PRS folder here. These files will be included in the actual mod that you have like in-game, not the other files. The other files are simply there just as a place to save them. So if you ever want to publish your mod publicly, I highly recommend deleting all of the texture files from that initial project file area. That area should only have gd_pc and then the mod configuration file. But if you did all of that right, you should be able to load into the garden, make sure you have it enabled on the mod manager, and there you go. We got some Choas now floating in the clouds. But you know what? That is not nearly enough. I'm gonna do something a little bit extra to kind of spice up this garden. We're now into the stage text, I think is what it's called, or stage title file. And I'm gonna change the name here. Originally it says Chao Garden, but hey, you know what? We're changing it to Choa Garden. So again, this is just in paint.net. I'm not gonna go over how to do full-on texture and photo editing, because that's a whole other topic. I could spend hours probably talking about that. But yeah, so we go import, again, take the new PNG, then we're gonna save as, well, I click save first, but then save as pack, and make sure we have it in the PRS folder right here, because that's where the final textures need to go. And after that, if you did everything right, go into the garden. Look at that, Choa Garden instead of Chao Garden, really cool. And yeah, it's a very unique garden, although it's pretty much just the normal garden with some Choa, I guess. Thank you so much for checking out this guide. If you have any further questions at all, leave them in the comment section down below, or check out the Choa Homies Discord. Lots of people there will help you out, or you can check out the Chao Island Discord too. Lots of experienced Chao texture editors over there, so those are good resources if you're not able to get this working properly, but if you follow this guide step by step, you should be able to do it. And if you are having issues, just watch back the guide, make sure you're doing everything exactly, because it's really important that everything's done correctly, especially the file orders and where the files are saved. That's like the most important thing there. If you do that wrong, everything else is gonna go wrong. But yeah, shout out Erubbu. Without them, this video would not exist, and probably a lot of custom gardens wouldn't exist, so shout out to them. And shout out to all the channel members. Without you guys, I would not be able to stream and create content regularly, so just thank you so much for making all this possible. Really appreciate you guys. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and take care.